One, two. Yo, what up, everybody out there in the good news land? Hope everybody's staying blessed and healthy. Today we got a different format going. Today's episode, and it is live from Zoom. It's pre-taped, and then we're gonna have the show go live on the Good News Radio Network later tonight at 8. So I hope everybody's all doing well and good. We got some special guests in the building tonight. We're all recording from our personal cribs because everybody's quarantined. But we brought back Akila Trinae, because of this new format. So
that's the only reason why.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
Thanks,
the
Charles.
world, the world has changed. So now you don't have to be in the studio to be a part of the show anymore.
This is very true.
We expanded the whole, everything is, ESPN, Daily Show, all these big time shows is having people on these type of things. So I'm like, hey, why don't we just take advantage of this, technology ourselves? So so I don't have the applause thing right now or sound effects, but give a round of applause to welcome Akila Trinae back in the flesh, in the cyber space and everything, cyberland, and tell us what's up, what's been going on, what's the word?
Well, I am sheltering in place. That's what's been going on. I've been inside since March 14th, 12th, 13th, something like that. So the school shut down a long time ago, it seems like now. And we're not coming back. So I will be vice principaling from my couch for the rest of the school year. And spending time with my baby. So, she's 18 months now.
Aww.
That's amazing. Well, that's some time that, you would have never probably had before, outside of this whole quarantine time. That's how I look at it too. So, yeah.
I actually asked for it. I asked for this. And so, I didn't mean for it to be a pandemic for everybody else in the world, but I am getting the time that I asked for.
You get what you asked for, and you get it because you asked for it.
Right.
That's funny. So what's going on? Let's introduce our guests and let's get them on. I'm just going on live right now, so don't mind me. I'm just trying.
Don't mind you, huh?
Well, don't mind me. Yeah,
well, I'll introduce Berkeley as I said that I would, and then I'll allow you to introduce Una. And Berkeley Warlick is an American R&B, soul pop artist, producer, actress, and model from Los Angeles, California. Warlick, independent from a label, released her first single, Laundry Day, April 2020, which is both produced and song written by her. She began playing piano at the age of 7 and continued her journey performing in school plays, musicals, singing in her church praise choir, and later joining her first music group in 2016. She began gaining a following in the Los Angeles underground scene, reaching audiences in her hometown, LA, and other states like New York as a featured performer for Taste of Soul, which I've been to several times, and The Source 360, which is in New York. She's expected to release her first EP in May 2020. So welcome, Berkeley.
Thank you, Akila, for that amazing introduction.
Round of applause. That's our sound effect.
Multi-talented.
Thank you guys.
And now we're gonna introduce Una. I'm just pulling up my email. We got a amazing, hold on 1 second. Talented. It's a long introduction. You gotta help me with your last name.
Just amazing is fine. Amazing does it. That's it, period. My last name, no one could say, so don't feel bad. Like no one ever in my life. Nedeljos. It's In my country, we have the L and the J is one letter. Well, this is my country too, but you get what I'm saying. Like, too. In Serbia, the L and the J is one letter. That's why no one could pronounce it properly, but it's Nedeljo.
Nedeljo. So
right there.
Una's really dope. She's always been supporting of us as a network and as a podcast. So we've interviewed her several times. But she's a big supporter. She's from Siberia. Shout out to all the hosts in Siberia, right?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay, I want to make sure. And she's out here. She's been out here since the age of 11. Amazing actress, amazing social media influencer, dope, just dope presence on media, social media, and all these outlets online in general. And you have like a crazy dope following that is like 1.2 to 4.5 million on a consistent basis. Wow, that's a lot of fans, it's a lot of interaction. You are what they say, famously known as the glamorous, and your brand is more fabulous, glamorous, and sexy. Okay, you've been featured as an actress in a few dope videos that we might know about from artists like Future, Chris Brown, Travis Scott, 2 Chainz, Tyga, 50 Cent, Trey Songz, Ludacris, and more. You recently told us about your what is the makeup line you have coming, right?
Well, it's hair and makeup. It's skincare.
Oh, hair and makeup.
It's all
skincare. That's
natural. I'm all about natural stuff. If I cannot pronounce the chemicals, I do not want it on my face. I do not want it on my skin, on my hair, any of the above. So it's not really my makeup line, but I've collabed with a recent brand who's already had their vegan line, but I'm just like, I loved what they stood for. So I was like, how do I partner? I want to be a part of it. Help me. Because again, if I can pronounce the ingredients, I want it. And I feel it's like that with everything we put in our bodies, with everything we put on our skin, in our hair, whatever. Like, there's so many natural ways to do it. I feel the high-end stuff or the stuff that you buy is just for them to make money, honestly. Like, I think you can cure yourself back to health, and I think you can like accomplish all you need to as far as like skincare and all that at home, like natural ways. So I'm all about that.
So yeah, thank you so much for clearing that. So it's dope. Thank you so much. We got Una in the building. We got Berkeley in the building, and they both go to Sage. I actually recently reconnected with Berkeley at Sage. I see at Sage. So that's they're all about like healthy lifestyles, eating. That's what it's that's what it's about as far as just like you were just describing, as far as making sure you're really conscious about what you're putting in your body, what you're putting on your body, and that's how you can heal yourself or just get to a better, healthier place. So it's just I guess what's the next thing? But I do want to ask, like during this time, it's probably is it hard to still maintain that healthy kind of lifestyle going, with this quarantine situation going on?
Is it as far as like food or as far as just in general?
Well, food, products, I mean, everything isn't just easily accessible as much. Right?
Yeah, I agree. But also, like you said earlier, I feel like in a weird way, it's easier because it's like it forces people to go outside to purchase groceries that actually cook versus I know I'm totally guilty. Like I will order in a second or I will go out to eat in a second. And now I'm forced to make food at home because I don't want people touching it and delivering to me. Like, I don't know. So, I feel right now more than ever, like it's easier to be healthy because you have 24 hours in a day where you're not doing anything. Like the least you could do is make some food, or cook or whatever it is. So I think it makes
I did see you getting some Apple Jacks on your Instagram.
I did. I love
Yeah.
Did you see my friend making fun of me? She's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You
I
out
know.
here, this, everybody quarantined. You out here getting the Apple Jack. You know
I
what I'm
know.
Cereal's great.
Listen, and for like a late night snack when you don't want to do a full meal, it's a perfect choice.
saying? So how you doing, Berkeley? Are you able to get what you need, get your food, get all your supplies?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of like cooking at home with my family and stuff. So it's just been nice to have like that time, because a lot of times we forget and we like miss that time of like family cooking and putting a meal together and sitting around and like talking about like, you know, interest goals, like other things that we maybe wouldn't get to talk about because now we have extra time. But I also think that there's some areas that don't necessarily have those health food spots. You know, you might have to go a little bit further in like, especially in South LA area, like to go get to the healthy food or to get delivery. So I think then that is where there's like definitely a discrepancy of like access to healthy foods. So that's how it is. Like, that's how I'm seeing it. So you can see it in both ways. But I think I like the aspect of like chilling with family, making homemade food. Like, that's the stuff I think I was really like missing.
Yeah, everybody gets to kind of get back and go back to the basics of things, the foundation of like how things are supposed to be. I think we spent so much time out and about, and although, you know, people have been on social media and, you know, working, like now people get the time that some of us asked for and then some of us didn't ask for, but that's much needed to just kind of like repurpose everything, like figure out like what's important right now, like what matters, where do you need to put your focus moving forward, because I mean the belief and the hope is, right, that we're going to get past all of this and there's going to be, you know, the, you know, sunshine after the rain, and it's like, okay, what are you going to do with all of that? What are going to be the next steps? But I did want to share some tips with everyone, especially LA. Now we're all in California.
Yeah.
I'm in Northern California, so our numbers aren't as high, and I've been watching the numbers like every other day just to kind of see, and it was about last week we're in LA, there were about like 799 cases, and then like 2 days later I looked again and it was like 2,000, and like now I didn't look today, but the last time I looked it was like 4,000 in Southern California alone, which drove up all the numbers to like 10,000. So some of these things could be helpful to like slow the spread everywhere, but like specifically in LA, it talks about like whenever you're going to go to the grocery store, because I know both of you mentioned that, they say to designate one person. This is from CNN, how to coronavirus proof your home, but designate one person to be your errand runner to limit your outside exposure so you're not out there for too long. Set up a disinfecting station in your house so that anytime you come from outside back inside, you have a place where you can, you know, wipe down food packages or leave your shoes or anything that may be infected, where you can leave that. It says, of course, we all know the 6 feet, wiping down handles and carts when you're shopping. It says you don't have to wear like a mask and gloves, but like we know that kind of changed because this was put out before the new information about masks and gloves. But, you know, if you can, to cover your face, because we know we touch it a lot. Washing your hands, obviously. Disinfect takeout boxes or packaged foods at your station that you have. Washing produce before putting it in your kitchen, because we don't know where it was before it was in your basket.
Who doesn't wash the vegetables?
Huh?
So since we already washing, some of the stuff you should have been doing before the.
Well, no. Those are things that you would do anyway, but it's more of talking about like the packaging and stuff that things come in, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, you wouldn't normally like wipe down your chicken package before you know, put it straight into the refrigerator or something like that. But I mean, those are some things that you can do. As long as things are like no contact, paying things online, so you don't have to like give your card to a person or give cash to another person, because you know we don't realize how dirty money is and like where money goes.
Yeah.
And it's like you're out, you might be like, oh yeah, let me just pay this, and you're like, hey, you know, I really don't know how many people have touched this money before it got to me. So just limiting that. They say with laundry, wash your clothes on the warmest setting that you can. Also disinfect your hamper, because the clothes you take off, you put in there. Some of this stuff, it's for, you know, it could be extreme or not, but that's what they say. Don't shake dirty laundry, because you can disperse the virus in the air. Don't have guests over. I have to say that a lot for LA. Like, don't invite people over out there. And else is here. And then, of course, if somebody gets sick, you know, make sure that you consult a doctor, but then also have them in a private space. If there is a space in your home where people can go and kind of be more secluded, then you want to do that, because you don't know what they may have. And then you don't want it to spread. And then if you can find these things in the store, you want to have them, but disinfectants, bleach, laundry detergent, trash bags, prescription medication, canned foods, dry goods, frozen goods. And make sure you not wash your pets. You wash your pets, but watch them. Because we don't want to forget about babies and the people who have animals, to take care of them just as much as you would take care of humans, because they can't pass the virus to humans, but then they can, you know, have contact with things that humans have contact with, and it can spread that way.
Well, yeah, that is some good tips. I'm like, I don't know. It's a weird time. I feel like everybody's walking around, and it looks like everybody with a mask. Looks like, I don't know, some kind of Fortnite character, video game situation. And
Superheroes.
yeah, it's just you know, we're trying to continue the normalcy, but I don't know. The people I feel the worst about is like people who are germaphobes before this whole situation.
Oh, they're having a heart attack.
Yeah,
if you're a germaphobe,
yeah.
You got your whole suit on. You're like,
right. They went and purchased a whole outfit.
I'm like, how are they going to go back to normal? You know, how are they going to get back to like a regular life?
It's just going to be weird. It's just going to be very weird. I was at a park, even though we're not supposed to go to a park. I went to a park. It was all closed down. And I was like, the feeling a kid is going to feel when they swing on that swing after this is all over. It's going to be, everyone's going to just be like, what?
Right.
Like, you know,
nobody can cough. Nobody can sneeze.
Yeah. Like, everyone's
it's back.
Each other.
Yeah. I think it's going to take a second for everything to go back to normal. Like, literally everything. From, like you said, parks to, like, I mean, parties. Like, imagine you're at a party again. I think it's going to, I don't know as far as the laws, but I think it's going to be very eased into. Like, okay, now you can have a party with 10 people. Now you can do 20. In 3 months, you can do 50.
I hope they do it that way.
Yeah, no, me too.
I really do.
Me too.
Because if they did it free for all, it'd be just too much.
It's gonna be Corona post parties. Exactly. Everybody's gonna be like, "Let's go get lit because Corona's over."
Invite only.
Yeah.
Invite only. So one thing they did that stuck out. They said, you know, don't shake out your laundry. And something I was thinking of you said your single that you put out is Laundry Day, right?
Yeah, Laundry Day.
Yeah, I was listening to that this morning. It was dope, and it just kind of reminded me of like, it actually reminded me of doggone this quarantine time, because it's like
clean the stuff.
It's like you're kind of, if you listen to her single Laundry Day, it talks about like needing space, I guess, in a relationship, and like you're not necessarily over with the person, but you kind of are like in this weird time where you kind of need like separation. But
Yeah.
like during this time, I mean, in a relationship, it seems like you're kind of getting that space. But is that like, do you think this space is like helping people relationships or not? Kid, where'd you go? The camera went off.
Oh, yeah. Come
Um,
on. I
but yeah,
think
during this time, is this like good? You think it's helping relationships that needed space, or is it kind of hurting?
you could see it either way. Like there's relationships that maybe you were ignoring things and now things are coming to light because you're like either quarantined with that person and things are getting exposed and you're just like, wow, like maybe we're fighting more, or like, you know, when people are stressed out about like the losing their jobs and stuff, like that can really affect, you know, relationships with one another. Like, oh well, I lost my job, so what can we do? Like either like a really great relationship is gonna, you know, if they have a great foundation, they'll be able to like, you know, figure it out. Okay, let's, you know, we gotta put some money together and do what we gotta do together. Or some people it's just like, I can't do this, I'm out, like because of what's going on. I think it's exposing a lot of interpersonal relationships because it has to do with like distancing ourselves from each other. So it's definitely affecting from what I've seen and what I've experienced, it can affect relationships, not knowing if it's positive or negative, but
Right. I think it goes both ways for
yeah.
sure. Because that's what I've heard a lot of, like that this shelter in place is really testing the relationship if it can stand, and really gives you know, people an opportunity, especially the ones who've been working a whole lot. I know Tyrese posts videos all the time about it, just kind of saying like he's been always gone. You know what I mean? He's married. He has a daughter. Well, he has 2 daughters, but he has a, you know, a baby girl, and he's always on the road, never at home. And this has kind of forced him to kind of be a better husband, be present, be, you know, there with his wife, and spend that time watching his daughter kind of like jumping and playing around in the crib, which he wouldn't have been able to do had this shelter in place not, you know, been, you know, or Corona not here. Like, so it's like there are blessings in this storm of virus, but like at the same time, you know, just testing what is, you know.
Yeah, testing what is. That is a good way to say it.
Ona, what's your take on the
I
on the
totally agree.
quarantine?
I mean, remember we had this conversation about what was the article? Like the divorce rates like went crazy up since this happened the past few weeks. Like, I mean, I agree with what you guys are saying. If there is a foundation, whether it's marriage, relationship, whatever it is, like if there's a strong enough foundation, then I think it's going to bring people closer together. I think there's a great benefit. Like if you look at it in a positive way, it can work out positively for you. So like, I think there's a great benefit, and you get to spend time with your whatever spouse, kids, whatever, you know, it may be. But if your relationship and or marriage was like rocky, or like you kind of didn't really, you were just like going by, didn't really like each other lately to begin with, I do agree that that may accentuate that. And unfortunately, that's when the divorce and, you know, this and this may come about. But this may sound wrong, but I think if quarantining with someone you're with gets you there, I think it's time to go there. Because if, you know, if you can't spend nonstop time, I'm not saying every second, still give each other space, relax, but if you can't spend time with who you're, you know, meant like want to be with, then I just think it's not the person for you. Gotta just let it go. So
Yeah.
it's gonna like show really, I feel, what and who is for you and what's not.
Yeah, absolutely. What I would add to that is I think more people have time. So people have been considering divorce, but since they were busy and they were working and they didn't have the time to file, and like now, you know, it's like, hey, I have time now, so let me,
let's get it done.
So, but the other, I mean, now courts are closed, so I don't know how far you're gonna get the process, but
so that's the question. Like, why are they saying the divorce rates are going up, but people aren't? They're filing, I guess. They're just filing online.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
sure
me too.
before the courts actually closed, maybe some people were able to file. I know some people who are trying to file now, but no, you have to go into the court. I mean, you have to go into the courthouse to file the papers. So um, I haven't checked with courts to know what their timing is, but I did talk to a friend of mine who was saying that um, somebody couldn't file because the courts were closed. So
Yeah.
that's the other unfortunate thing, because now they got to wait and we don't know for how long. And it could be, I know one of the other things you were kind of going to talk about is that domestic abuse, but it could be really bad in some of these homes where people
Yeah.
have to shelter in place because they have nowhere to go.
Yeah. I added in 2 participants that is listening. So shout out to Shanette. My cousin Damon is just listening, and they're gonna add text. This is the first. I want to do I like how we have our panel set up. What I wanted to do is set up a way that we could have people listen and then add their questions in and stuff. But
They can also chat, like go into the
yeah,
chat at the bottom.
yeah. So I just want them to add in chat. So yeah, so that's if you see 2 names, they're just listening. But yeah, so with the domestic violence, they say divorce rates and domestic violence went up. Rates went up significantly. I guess the statistic is that when the unemployment rate reaches a certain level, then domestic violence cases go up drastically. Um, and I guess those 2 go together because of like, I guess it's such a hard time, for a lot of people, and because of that, it's just been it's just a hard time for when people are going through things and how they get through and how people are able to. Some people aren't able to get through things like everybody has a different situation. Like some people, like in California, I feel like we're different where we kind of do have, a lot of people have more space in a sense. Like New York, I think we're like on top of each other. So there's relationships that are, everybody's getting tested in ways that probably haven't been tested before. And strong relationship or not a strong relationship, there's ways that you're going to have to deal with things that are just coming at you that are new, financially, mentally, spiritually, all that. Like you can't go to church, you know what I'm saying? So it's like people are really going to have to dive in and lean into whatever they've been, spiritual practices they've been dealing with before. So I don't know. It's just a hard time for everybody, but especially if people have like mental health issues or financial issues that are making them think that domestic violence is going to be the way to go, because it's just a hard time for everybody. And especially, they say the other hard part is for women that are going through a situation like that, people, should I say, that are going through domestic violence situations. It's harder for them to alert authorities because you're enclosed or quarantined with that person as well. So it's just saying, it's like you really want to say you want to just make a call and say, yo, blah, 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 but you down there in the house with the person 24/7 that's doing the same thing. So prayers out to everyone that's going through different situations. And yeah, I don't know. I don't have much advice.
Well, I'll add a little something to that, Charles. I'm actually very thankful of being up north, not just because it's bad in LA, but just because if I were there, I would be just with my daughter, and we'd be by ourselves. You know what I mean? We would have to quarantine in the house with just the 2 of us, and just the stress and the anxiety of that alone would just have been too much. So I'm thankful that I can be up here with family and just kind of have that support, even within the quarantine walls of, my daughter doesn't have to be with me right now. Because if my parents weren't here, my daughter would be right here on my lap, and we would have to do this all together. But the reason why I am up north, and Charles, but is because I separated from my husband, and going through a divorce, which has been a long process and probably put on hold because of, the coronavirus, because we have a court date in May. Are we going to be able to go to court in May? I don't think so, you know, but
Yeah.
definitely being able to tap into different services online. Like I know it's not the same, you know, but just still being able to like connect with family and friends online. I do counseling online. We were
Yeah.
seeing each other, but we can't do it anymore because they basically said like, you know, their mandate is that everyone has to, you know, shelter in place. So I get on Zoom, you know, with my therapist, and it's extremely helpful because one, we're talking about the things that, you know, I'm dealing with a divorce, with the move, with having a baby and all that stuff. But then also we have an opportunity to kind of like process through what's happening with the quarantine. And, you know, if people don't have an actual therapist, because it's not hard to get, I go straight through Kaiser, and
Yeah.
it's
For your insurance.
yeah, through my insurance, it's covered, you know what I mean? So all I have to do is pay a copay, which I didn't know about. Like another coworker of mine told me that you can get therapy through your medical insurance. And so then I looked into it, and it was really easy to do. But that beats having to pay a whole lot of money if you don't have it, right? For
Yeah.
hourly fees, because I was doing that too. And I said, hey, I can pay less. Well, let me do that. You know what I mean? And still get, you know, the services that I need. But that's really important during this time. And what I was going to say is if you don't have like a therapist or a counselor, like really being able to confide in somebody else, like a good friend, to kind of talk through the stuff. Because I know some people don't like to talk about everything that's happening with Corona and try and avoid it, or with relationships or whatever. But if you don't, you hold that stuff in, that turns into anxiety, it turns into depression, it turns into like a lot of stuff. And then people begin to self-medicate. And remember, you're also indoors, right? So if you're indoors and you're sheltering in place, you can also, you know, become a closet drinker or a smoker or whatever, because nobody else is around. So really it's just important to like reach out to people as much as you can, just so that you get that human interaction, because we weren't designed to be alone,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to be apart from people. Like, so even though I don't like this, because right, I can't touch you, right? But at the same time, it's
Yeah.
still just knowing like, okay, I'm talking to another human being somewhere, and then we can, you know, feel that energy as much as possible.
Totally.
Whew. Yeah, that's a deep, and I appreciate you sharing that, because I'm like, shoot, I need a Zoom therapist.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think having a mentor. Like my mentors have, you know, really like I couldn't get a therapist at one point, so it just really helped. And then for people who, you know, need an outlet, I've journaling and like painting. I just be painting random stuff, coloring, drawing, just that inner child in you that's just like, I'm gonna just make something random. Like creating something is like therapeutic in itself. So just spending some time with yourself and getting to, if you don't get to like, you know, have a person, or you don't get a mentor, draw something, you know, write something down, write a positive affirmation for yourself of what you want to like improve on. You know, I think that also is a great way to spend this time too.
And Una, I know you're a creative, so tell me something that you are doing creatively right now.
I still haven't got on TikTok. I've been trying, and I just I just don't get it. Like,
Yeah, you would probably do good on TikTok, though. You just
no,
gotta get
I
into
would do
it.
amazing because I'm so funny, and you know, comedy is my thing. Like, I would kill it, but I just don't know how to use it. So maybe I'll get the hang of it. Haven't done that. I've actually, and thank God, I've been able to like work from home. So, you know, as you know, I do a lot of promo. So I've had like, you know, people reach out as far as like doing promo for, you know, music. Did I just mess? Can you guys see me?
Yeah, we can
We
see.
can still see you.
Okay. Because you scared.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I've been doing promo for music. I haven't really been creating aside from that. I mean, that just honestly comes organically for me. Aside from like work and stuff, I'm really big on meditation. Like, just, you know, like she mentioned, something for everyone. Like, some people paint, some people are artists. So like, I meditate. I've always been into my like affirmations, reading like law of attraction books and all that. And I think with this time now that I have the time, I'm just getting like deeper and deeper into it. So instead of 20 minutes meditation, I'll do 40 just because I like doing it anyway. And I just feel like for me, it sets a tone. Like I did it this morning. It sets a tone for like the day, like what I want to accomplish. I like, run through my day, visualization, all this stuff that I've honestly always done. But now I love that we have the time to just like really dig deep into what you like doing, what works for you. So that's really what I've been doing. I mean, as far as hanging out with people, I've seen like a friend. I'm scared. I don't want no one to get near me. And before even like I hung out with her, I'm like, hey, have you coughed? Like how are you feeling? Don't get close to me. So yeah, I mean, just like I've cleaned out my whole house, so that's good. Stuff I feel stuff that like we haven't done for years, now is the time. Like my closet has had like old stuff in it for years. And I'm like, just do it now. You have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I definitely cleaned out my closet.
yeah.
My daughter's closet. And yeah, clean the whole house down. Like, yeah, it definitely allows you to see some things that need to get done and, take care of it. I try to do something different each day so it doesn't get boring
Yeah.
or monotonous. So it's just kind of like, okay, I did cleaning, Monday, Tuesday, I'll do something else. Maybe I'll write,
For
or
sure.
maybe I'll,
Yeah, and I feel like we feel better. I don't know if you agree, but like even something as simple as like cleaning out a part of a closet, like I feel like you detox it. And
Yeah.
then just how, back to my meditation, like when you detox whatever was just there for no reason at all, like you can, like now I can go buy what I need to buy or like organize how I need to organize. Like it really, I think mentally affects you positively too.
absolutely.
Yeah. I I smoke sometimes, but like just during this time I ain't been smoking, and I smoke, and I can't lie, it's just like it brought in all this anxiety. And like, what the hell is going on in the world? I'm like, this is not doing the trick right now. Because I think I've been like kind of blocking out like how kind of messed up it is right now. Just like in the world. Because thankfully things are great for me at home personally, but it's still hard. But there's things like that I'm like, damn, like okay, just normal life, Easter, my daughter's preschool graduation, which, I'm just, it's not okay. It's not affecting the world at large, but just, just like, okay, we're going to get through this. And then I'm like, what's the thing that's going to get us, like we all talked about, what's going to get us to like a state where, okay, things are just cool again. We could just call a friend and say, come over and hang out. You know what I'm saying? And just, I don't know, but you're not. Look, I remember when Burke and I seen you, we were giving each other like these elbows.
Yeah,
I think that should just be the new greeting. Just
it's gonna be so weird.
Yeah.
continue giving elbows.
For a
Continue
while
giving,
now.
yeah. For the next 2-3 years, just keep giving
like,
elbows. Like,
I'm just like, I don't even want to. I don't want to. I'd rather not do that. I don't want to elbow people. But look, I found this game, or I ordered this game online. It's really dope, but I don't know if you ever seen the promos for it, but it's the blank and so this is a couple of edition, and it asks some really dope, like deep questions. And I want to just get you guys' perspective. I'm gonna pick out a question. I'm gonna pick out something that you can answer. It don't have to be too.
are you gonna call us? Or
No,
Oh,
it's a card. It's business. It's cards. So it's like a card game. But it's a card game that you can play with your significant other, and it's very deep. So I can't lie. If you do go down this rabbit hole, you guys are gonna definitely, hit on some stuff that.
Where did you get it from?
I got online. I seen it on Instagram actually, and I seen promos for it, and it was just like two people just going back and forth answering questions, and I was like, this could be something. So let me see something that you guys can answer, because it's the couples edition. They got friends edition and stuff like that. But I want to give you something. All right. I'm gonna go. Let's see. I'm gonna go with something hard. And if you say you want to pass, you can pass. And then I'll give you something easy. Let's see. Easier, should I say? Oh Lord, what should I go with? All right, this is a hard one. Could be hard for some people. What's a memory from your childhood you most want to forget?
Oh dang. That is so deep.
You're like, whoa, wait a second.
Whoa.
Happy questions, Charles.
Right,
Right.
like, memory.
What? My mind just flashed to like something so like I know.
Look, you're like, time out.
Hold on.
Pass.
Let's go to a happy place. Yes.
Right.
Thank you, Kira.
All right. Hey, it's just trying to keep it going. All right, let's see. All right, we're going to a happy place with this card. So, how do you love? How do you describe your love?
How do you describe it?
Yeah, well, this question is for your significant other, but it says, how do I love? So you could describe how you're, so how do you want to be loved? I guess that's what is your love?
Well, I'll start because I enjoy the book, The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. And so you can take a quiz to figure out which love language, or which love languages best kind of describe or show how you want to be loved. And my number 1 is quality time. And my number 2 is acts of service. And so all of them would be words of affirmation, affection, and gifts of love. So I enjoy quality time, uninterrupted time to just spend with another person, just to kind of get to know one another. It doesn't even have to be anything elaborate, but just the ability to kind of just connect in that way is my number 1 love language. And then when people do or they notice the small things to kind of help or support. So if they knew that I was one of the things that somebody did one time that sticks out is when I was teaching, I had a ton of papers that I needed to grade, and then they offered to help me grade the papers. For me, that's oh my gosh, I'm in love now, So just being able to help with the small things that would just take a little burden off of me, is how I enjoy being loved.
All right, I'm gonna switch up. I got 2 different questions. Thank you for that answer. I would have gave you a round of applause, like I said. Have a round of applause. All right, so I'm gonna ask you
No.
All right, just another question, and whoever wants to answer this, just go ahead and ask a different question for next one. Let's see. What makes you most comfortable in your body?
In your life?
In your body.
In your body?
What do you mean?
I think it's
what makes you comfortable, in your skin type of thing?
Yeah, what gives you confidence about what's the thing that gives you the most confidence in your body, or about your body, or I don't know where's your confidence come from? When you feel the most on fleek, I guess. I don't know.
What did you say? When you feel the most what?
On
Fleek.
fleek. No one's used that word in 2 years.
I don't know. I've been in quarantine so long. It could be. I thought that came back.
That's an interesting question because I think for women, I feel it's all mental. I think it's all mental, at least for me. It's not obviously a new hairdo or a new outfit. Yeah, I feel I look cute, awesome, but it's all mental. If I woke up that day, say on a bad note or like say just something didn't sort out right, I'm not going to feel good all day, you know? So, but if I woke up like amazing and I want to feel confident all day, I could have no makeup on, whatever outfit on, I feel amazing. But, you know, and makeup and outfit just like is like a cherry on top. But I think confidence in general is all mental. I've seen women that before they speak maybe aren't a beautiful, as soon as they speak they're like a 20, because how they carry themselves, how they, you know, how they know that they are it, like. But then I've seen gorgeous women that as soon as they speak they're so insecure and they're so like not confident, that it's just like, wow, you're pretty, you know, you would think that you would be confident, but their beauty in my eyes just lowers because they don't really love themselves. So I don't know. I just think it's all mental. I think I answered it. It was a weird
Yeah,
question.
yeah, absolutely. What gives you your confidence? Yeah, Berkeley.
Well, that answered it. Like, it's a mental thing. It's a
Mhm.
mental game. Like,
Yeah,
that I've definitely played with myself. I've woken up and I'm like, I don't feel
Mhm.
like I'm that bitch today. I don't feel like I'm confident. I don't feel the shit. I don't feel that stuff. So, and I don't like not feeling that way, but like we all experience it. It's like we're human. So I don't like that feeling, but like, it's just how quick can you, like, you know, get yourself back to that confident space? Like, you know, okay, bounce back. That was a moment of unclarity. I was not feeling myself, but like, I can get back to it. And
Mm-hmm.
whatever it may be, just like putting on something cute. It may just be like making something for yourself. It could be anything. It could be anything that you think can make yourself confident. Everyone has like a different thing that they love, but sometimes you may need to dance and sing in the mirror for a second just to feel yourself, like whatever it is. And I think
Mhm.
it is a mental game. And I think as women, like, we experience it because how our bodies should be and what we should look like they're pitching images to us like all the time. So we play a really heavy mental game with like what makes us, you know, confident about ourselves. It's very tricky for us.
yeah. It's
Sorry, was I not supposed to
it's,
cuss on the podcast? My bad.
no. Go ahead. Hey, this is an open forum. You know.
Okay, my bad. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was trying to get my point, and I think that was the only word. I'm like, my bad. You know.
Yeah. So look, I definitely, you know, I don't know what gives me my confidence. Something that gives me my confidence is my height, I guess. You know, that's when I
So
started
superficial, Charles.
Like,
I know.
women want guys that got this height.
Hey, that's when I became cute.
Oh
you know
my
what I'm
gosh.
saying? Hey, you know, I'm serious. Whatever. Anywho, all right. So this is the last. Let's see. I'm gonna got the information we're gonna end with, but then I got like one question. Let's see. I'm gonna ask y'all from this game. It's kind of dope, but I'm reformatting it to address the crowd. Let's see. So let's see. Which one I go with? I'm going with this one. All right. So tell us, what is preventing you from becoming the person you want to become?
Myself.
Right, I was gonna say me.
Really?
Me.
You get in your own
Really?
way. You know?
Yeah, like
But like how? Oh, unpack
I don't
that
know.
a little bit for us.
Have you seen the movie Us? I'm sure everybody's
Yeah,
seen that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's like that. It's like you just be talking yourself out of things, and then you let fear get in your head, and you just you just gotta be like, have more faith than fear. Like, you know, because sometimes you just, you know, you clench up when you want to do something or you want to try something new, and you get like a little bit scared. And sometimes you just have to have that moment of courage to like not stop yourself from like your own success, you know?
Yeah.
I've struggled that battle all the time. Like,
Yeah, especially you just put out like a new project and stuff, so
yeah.
you know that took a leap of faith. And
Yeah, like you get that like stomach gut feeling, like you're just like, oh my God, I just released something into the world. And it's such a weird feeling. But like, and I was just like everything. And then after that, it was like I had this weird moment where I was just like, everything is gonna be okay. Like, I'm doing what I love to do, and I'm gonna keep doing it, you know?
Yeah. So, and Ona,
Everything she said, like I totally agree. It's
I
a
need to have different answers. I'm gonna do a separate.
I'm trying to have an answer, but it's just how I feel. Like I just
Truth,
think
Charles.
it's always yourself. Like if something people that's the hardest pill to swallow for people because they like to a lot of people like to play the victim role, but it's just like if things go amazing, it was your doing. If things go horrible, it was your doing. It's always your doing. Don't blame a third party. There is no third party that you need to blame. And sometimes when things don't go great, it's all a part of the plan, but it's just like I think if you aren't who you may want to be today, it's you. So whether that's you don't have pure clarity towards, you may like I feel when you're not clear towards who you want to be, you'll never be there till you clarify it. So when you get clarity of who you are, who you want to be, it's really that simple. And then once you know this is what I am, that's it. There's nothing stopping me. You're going to get there. But if you're not sure, or if you're listening to third parties telling you, oh, your dreams are too big, or you want too much, or okay, great, you're going to be just like them. Because, like I feel that the energy transfers, but it's always yourself, whether that means like tuning everyone out and just focusing on what you want to do, or whatever the case may be, but it's like never anyone else.
Yeah, I guess you could be your own like worst enemy. 'Cause
Yeah.
I definitely, hitting the gym has been, I don't know, it's been one of my hardest things in general. And then I had like a real dope routine in the morning with my cousin, working out with him every day, and my boy Garrett, and we just had like this dope accountability kind of thing. And now it's back on my shoulders again. Where it's just like I gotta get my ass up in the morning and work out. And if I don't work out by a certain time, then that window's closed, the day is started and everything. And so it's just like I definitely didn't need any additional excuses to not get up in the morning. That was like, because it's like this quarantine was, I was like, hey, I can't get up, I can't go to the gym. Got a quarantine, I'm on quarantine. So that's just like my perfect sabotage thing. So it's like I can't really point the finger at anything because I do have the ability to do it. It's just the will and the drive and all that stuff. What's in Akila? What about you?
I was the same. I mean, like, you get in your own way. But I mean, different things will set in, fatigue, what is it? When you complacency, like when you get comfortable in mediocrity. I mean, that is probably the thing that will defeat a lot of people, is that you're okay. You tell yourself enough, Charles, that you can't go to the gym because the gym is closed, and then you start being like, well, I don't need to go to the gym. Who am I going to the gym for? And then you're like, I'm comfortable with my body being this way, and then you tell yourself and you justify it as to whatever you're settling into, knowing that you have more purpose, you have more in you to do or create, but you just don't. And so the mind is extremely powerful, and I know Una was alluding to it, just because it's like whatever you tell yourself. And that's why positive affirmations are good, and meditation and prayer and like all those things, because whatever you tell yourself, that's what you're going to become. So you practice who you're going to be. And if you continue to tell yourself all those negative things, then that's what it will be. Nobody else can come in and tell you differently, because it happens all the time. Even when we were talking about, women being confident, in their bodies or whatever, a man can come and say all the things that he may want to say to that woman, to be like, oh no, you're beautiful and this is great. But if she's not feeling that way on the inside, it doesn't matter, what's being said. She would have to tell herself that, and then begin to like live out that story. So, we get in our own way. I get in my own way. I get comfortable. It's hard separating like the work you have to do and being at home. Because for me, home was where I get to chill and rest and just like kind of like decompress, you know, and then I go out to work and I do all the work there and I can keep the two separate. But when the shelter in place came, both had to be in the same place. And so it's hard for me to be in my room by my bed, by the TV, where I can just lay in bed and watch TV all day, but then have to say, no, you need to work and be in the same space. You know what I mean? So it's just, it takes a lot of mental practice and lifting to kind of like pull yourself out of. So like you might literally have to move out of that room into a new environment in order to kind of like get your motivation and juices flowing, because, you know, sometimes we can be physically stuck in a space because we're not moving out of it. You know, so you might have to, the only way for you to work out, Charles, is for you to get out the bed. If you continue to lay in the bed, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to work out. You're going to be like, yeah, I can do a couple arm exercises while I lay here. But,
yeah, nah, I got it. I want to get out. I did 3 days last week though, but I didn't do 4. So that was, I think I didn't do 5. So that was kind of like, all right. So last question, I'm going to give us on the affirmation, and this opens the floor with, so what, dating wise, like will it change or continue to stay the same after this whole thing is cleared up, or will anything be different, you know, in your dating life?
in our dating life or just in general?
Yeah, in your dating life, because I mean, if you're dating, are you gonna like, are you more online with it? Are you more, I don't know, is everything just like, yeah, the guy I was talking to, we our plans are to go out, or he come, you know, whatever. I don't know what the is per se, but has it changed anything? Has it slowed down? Will you get back on track once this clears up, or you know, is it all the same? Is it different or is it the same? I don't know. I'm not the genie in the lamp, as they say. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm
I
asking.
don't know. I think it's the same. I mean, everyone's situation is different, and I think that's quarantining or not. But as far as like just dating in general, I think it's the same. Not unless you are like searching or going on dates or like trying to meet new people, then obviously you can't physically be with them at this time. But you know, say you're dating a person, or say like, I think it's all about whether it's quarantine or not. If you want to spend time with them, if they're healthy, you can. You know, if they're coughing, stay home.
Right.
But
like with somebody, so a lot of times, you know, people might want to go out, and then it's probably going to be more acceptable for a guy to come over and bring over some food and say, hey, let's just keep it, make it a Netflix night. Is that, or are you still going to want to be taking out dinners and all that stuff still?
yes,
After the quarantine, don't nobody really want to be quarantined more. I think. I mean,
better.
yeah.
Better take it a some nice restaurant after being locked in the house.
yeah, after quarantine for sure. No, physically, but
Dinner on the beach, everything.
Right. You got a lot of creative places to go.
So it has to go up. So after quarantine, it's like you got to get more. It's going up back to like, hey, I want to be out. I want to be in a nice spot. So whatever, right? That's
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, after quarantine, yeah.
And during quarantine, it's very acceptable to say Netflix.
Well, I also don't think that people are just
right.
going to just be dating anybody and having anybody coming over. Like Una said, like if you're dating somebody, you're gonna make sure that that person is legit before they even bring their germs to your home, because that's putting you and anybody else who lives there, you know, at risk.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be like this person on Friday and then I'm gonna date another person the next Friday and then another person. Like, you crazy.
Right. That's like risking your health. At this point, that's literally risking your full health. So
well, as they say, mama gotta have a life too. You know.
No, you gotta quarantine. You gotta find one quarantine date.
You got one quarantine move.
Yeah, no, that's I see what you're asking, but no, I just think it depends like what stage you are in dating. Say again, like if you're dating someone, then of course if they're healthy, like you can spend time with them. But say you're not dating anyone, zero people, and you're trying to get to know people, if you're asking if Netflix and chill is acceptable trying to get to know people, I would hope the answer is no for a lot of women. Some may say yes, but I would hope the answer is no because I'm not about to have if I'm
Exactly.
dating different people, let's feel it out, Netflix and chill. I don't know you, like no,
Right.
let's
No.
get to know each other. So it just depends, I think, at what stage you are of your, connection. And this is a perfect time to like literally just communicate on the phone if you
Yep.
aren't dating anyone and try to see who you want to date once all is, it's done.
Yeah, that is a trip. Hold on, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
because I my dog on earbuds. These things don't last that long. All right, so great episode. This is what I'm gonna end with. This book that I was telling you about last week. This is 5 minutes of daily meditation. So it's like 365. So you go through every day. It's I don't always use it, but shout out to my homeboy Peace from Grill Fresh. He gave it to me, and so when I remember, I try to use it, and it always has like, like a good affirmation or good exercise. So this is today's exercise of April 5th, and it's the word just like we talked about being what was the last word? It was
Clarity. That's my favorite.
yeah, clarity was the last. So this one is bravery. All right, so loving kindness meditation, bravery. All right, so start by reassessing your attention and the feeling of your breath in your body. Then gently repeat these phrases. May I be brave. May you be brave. May we be brave together. Now notice how you feel. Repeat this practice throughout the day whenever you feel that you need a bit of bravery. So,
Show us with your breathing, Charles. How are you supposed to do it?
Me? Oh no, you're gently. I guess you're gently.
I said, show me.
Show me.
I want to see it.
I guess. May I be brave? But maybe I'll say it gently, more gently. I guess. But may we be brave? No. May I be brave? May you be brave? May we be brave together. I actually feel like that's exactly the right message for right now because it's definitely going to take some bravery to get us through this whole situation. And new technology. And last thing I'll say is just don't let technology get behind you. Next week we'll have panels. We'll have you guys as panelists, and we could because essentially we got people that want to participate, but I want to only have them as participants in the comment section. So I think that's going to be like a panelist thing or whatever. So on the technical side, this whole Zoom thing is really dope to connect people, but I pray that we just get to a better place to have us be able to actually connect in person. Matter of fact, that reminds me, I gotta do my screenshot. Somebody take who's on a computer? I need to see to send me a screenshot so I can do my prayer hands photo.
Hold on, wait. Tell me how you do it on a Mac again.
Yeah,
it's control.
Do it on the computer.
It's Apple A4, the number 4, and then you can just.
So Control Command 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do my screenshot. Look.
Well, how am I gonna do it and press these numbers at the same time? Hold on, I'm just gonna have to smile. All right. All right, you ready? I don't know if it did it.
It should be on your desktop.
Well, let me see if it did.
I heard something.
I heard something doing like a
yeah.
Maybe it
sorry,
didn't.
this is all part of the learning curve in this 2020 era of technology. And all right, what we doing this?
I didn't get it.
Words from the panelists.
Hold on.
Huh? We got it again?
Where am I?
You doing it?
Hold on. I done
Now your
did not
camera's
delete
off.
it. Hold up. Just give me a second. I don't think you told me right. You said Apple. I'm on my laptop.
It's Command, Shift, and the number 4.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay, then that's different. All right. Here we go. Ready? Hold on. Keep it there. Okay, I think I did it.
Did it work?
Okay.
I heard it. I heard it.
Double check, because I don't know if I trust you with technology. I gotta do my prayer hands.
Well,
so
I know how to do it now. So everybody can get your pose on because I got my thing ready. And now I can do my peace sign. All right, everybody ready? Just hold it. There we go.
Right. And both of y'all had the peace sign. I think y'all need to switch it up a little bit. No,
Whatever, Charles.
Right. You want to say?
Yeah.
Look, everybody do the prayer sign. No, but she can't do it because it's a doggone. But anyways, look, I appreciate y'all for so much, for taking the time out. Appreciate my wife. She's looking after the kids. They haven't come in here once, surprisingly, because I'm used to when I come into the back, everybody comes back here and they're like, what you doing? They don't want me to be back here by myself, I guess. But so let's wrap it up by saying, Berkeley, tell us where we can find you, what you got coming up next, what you got going on. What's the first thing you're gonna do once you finish this quarantine time?
I just released my first single, Laundry Day. It's available on SoundCloud, and it is going to be available for pre-save on Spotify. Just released my first music video that is available for the song as well on YouTube. So I'm going to keep creating, writing, producing, making music. I can't make many videos. Luckily, I did all my videos before this happened. Yeah. So I'm just going to be, in my creative space. And when I get out, I'm creating some more. So.
Right.
Yeah. Where can people find you? That's the other part. Where do you want people to find you at? Berkeley.
On my Instagram is at Berkeley Warlick. Warlick is spelled Warlick. Oh, I need to do my first name. It's like right there. Yeah. Berkley, Warlick, Warlick. And that's on everything. Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, all that stuff.
What's going on? Where can people find you? What's the word, and what's the first thing you're gonna do when you get out of this quarantine?
Well, you can find me. I love your brush. You
right.
can find me at.
We can see you.
That's the benefit of doing this at the comfort of our home. Like, I literally have PJ bottoms on. Like, and he's brushing himself. It's fine. Hey, I love it. Okay, so you can find me at the Numera Una, just how it sounds, on Twitter, on Instagram, all the above. I made a TikTok with that name too. Stand by on that. First thing I'm gonna do when I get out of quarantine. You know what? I'm not even like a party or get together person, but I just want to like go have brunch. And I just want to drink mimosas and just brunch and just like take cute pictures, get dressed up, like stuff that I think I took for granted before. I would always decline invitations to. I want to do now. So just something as simple as that. During quarantine, I'm just trying to keep working as much as I can to bring content and just, to engage as much as I can. So there it is.
Oh, Akila, what's the word? Sign off. Any last words? What's the deal?
Well, you can find me on social media at Akila Trinae.
I don't think you can really find you there because you don't be posting.
You can't. Well,
what are they gonna find? What happened last year?
You sound like a hater. I actually did post recently, like a couple of days ago. It doesn't matter. You find whatever I have. You'll find whatever's there. Okay. And maybe if you find me, I might post more. How about that, Charles? Jeez. And I might do some writing. I don't know. I actually have to work. We're doing distance learning. So my spring break ends today, and then tomorrow we start distance learning with kids. So shout out to all the teachers. Shout out to all the parent teachers who are having to teach their children at home, Charles. Make sure you follow the plan that the teacher gives, okay? And you know, you'll be all right. So we're now technically in this together, right? Because now you have to teach your children
Yeah.
with the support of the teacher. How about that?
Yeah. It's definitely making me truly appreciate teachers. I really don't see how they do it. Truly. I'm like, this is kind of crazy. Like, everybody know their kids a little bit
You don't
off
know
the
them all
hook.
day though.
Yeah, they a little bit off the hook, you know what I'm saying? But like, when you with them all day, it's like, cause my daughter and my son, it's like I probably see them when I really think about it when I'm working. Usually, I probably truly see them like in the morning, couple hours, at night, maybe a couple hours, and I mean like literally like 2 hours, and then Saturday, Friday night we stay up late, Saturday, Sunday, all day, but then we're doing stuff. So this has been like, 3 weeks, 4 weeks straight of just like all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? And it's a different thing. And then simultaneously you trying to block off like 6-7 hours to teach is like and have them focus. It's a very difficult task. And I salute the teachers who are able to get kids to learn, because that's not easy. Because it's like, and especially, but it's harder when it's your parents, because your parents, you know how to twist their arm, you know how to push their buttons, and they're gonna have certain, whatever. So your kids know how to manipulate you too. So it's probably a little bit easier for a stranger than it is for like the actual parent. But you're not at that level yet of parenting, No,
But I'm a teacher.
No, I'm messing with you. But yeah, no, she's a new parent, but you'll see your kids, your daughter gonna be like, "Mom," and she's gonna pull on all your heartstrings, and then you're gonna be like, "All right, I'll do it," or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
She does it now. But,
yeah, but I'm saying it's even worse when she could actually talk and cry and cry on command and all that stuff. But anywho, crocodile tears.
She got those too.
Yeah. So, all right, y'all. Thank you so much. This relationship game. I don't know where it happened in Detroit, but maybe we're finding new co-hosts in the meantime, because this guy's MIA too much. But anywho, let's keep it going, and let's quarantine safely.
Let's do it. Thanks for having me, guys.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace. Namaste.
Bye.
Bye.